Hello and Happy New Year! I made several best episode lists for most Star Trek TV shows, however, browsing the comments and thinking about it in retrospect, I can't ignore the fact that I missed out some crucial episodes. So here are 5 more great Star Trek episodes. Number 1. The Measure of a Man. The fact that I didn't include this in my best TNG episodes is an egregious crime. A Starfleet commander wants to take Data in for a dangerous experiment which could end his life in order to study what makes him work. With his life and career at stake, Data resigns from Starfleet, but when his sentience is called into question, Picard chooses to defend Data in a hearing to prove that he is a person rather than property. For some reason, Star Trek often comes back to doing courtroom stories, but none of them ever reach the same heights as this. The debate taking place is simply fascinating on every single level, exploring themes of artificial intelligence, what makes something conscious, and then moving into implications of disposable creatures, as Guinan says. The sheer brain fuel this debate offers is awesome by itself, but the episode takes it a step further with great character material running alongside it. We have Picard defending his best friend's right to exist while also clashing with the JAG officer whom he has previous history with. Riker is given the task of actively condemning Data to possible death, which plagues him with insurmountable guilt. And finally there's Commander Maddox, played by Brian Brophy, who is able to convey a surprising amount of screen presence in a very short space of time. Maddox is not an evil bad guy who wants Data to die, he's simply misguided in his views. Nuanced, tense, emotional, and utterly fascinating. I love Darmok, but The Measure of a Man definitely deserves a spot on that list. Number 2. Mirror Mirror. After watching episode 10 of Star Trek Discovery, spoiler alert, they go to the Mirror Universe and it's awesome, it made me revisit the first appearance of the idea. During a transporter malfunction, Kirk, Scotty, Bones, and Uhura are transported to an alternate dimension where humanity has conquered the stars rather than explored them and rules over subjugated aliens with an iron fist. There's an inherent sense of fun when visiting the Mirror Universe. It gives the regular cast the chance to let loose as scenery-chewing evil villains, which never fails to entertain, something which DS9, Enterprise, and now Discovery have been taking full advantage of. But while the other cast get to go big, the anchor of the episode is Leonard Nimoy, who continues to show his excellence as a cold, calculating bad guy version of Spock. Like his usual performance, Nimoy is nuanced and subtle, which adds to the intimidation while also being remarkably close to the usual Spock to an unsettling degree. I don't think any of the episodes in my original list should be replaced, but Mirror Mirror definitely deserves a shout out. Number 3. The Siege of AR-558 and It's Only a Paper Moon. Once again, I'm perfectly happy with my DS9 list, but these companion episodes definitely deserve mentioning. The 2 episodes explore the true horrors of war. The DS9 crew helps fend off a remote outpost from Dominion attack, and later comes face to face with the trauma of the events. Deep Space Nine was never afraid to delve into the darker aspects of Star Trek, and rather than the spectacular space battles we usually see, these episodes take us to brutal ground combat, veering into depictions of shell-shocked, battered soldiers, as well as the morally questionable choices Sisko has a habit of making. Then in the follow-up, we see one of the more innocent characters dealing with the kind of difficulties veterans encounter after the fighting is done. I've often heard some fans say that Star Trek shouldn't depict warfare, but these 2 episodes prove that it can lead to some very high quality work. Number 4. Tinker Tenor Dr. Spy. I originally went with Bride of Chaotica as a fun romp for the Voyager crew, but this episode outshines it completely. The Doctor has been experimenting with daydreaming, where he imagines himself to be a courageous hero that women find irresistible. However, due to poor programming and unfortunate coincidence of alien surveillance, the Doctor is forced to put his money where his mind is. Like a Bride of Chaotica, this is another occasion for the cast to let loose, this time centered around the brilliant Robert Picardo. The daydream sequences are a joy to watch as the Doctor relishes being in the infallible hero and the crew around him become cartoon versions of themselves. Not only that, but the hierarchy aliens introduced are a welcome change from the usual forehead dudes we disappointingly see in Voyager. Loads of fun with an earnest and crowd-pleasing finale. Bride of Chaotica is easily usurped by this episode. Number 5. Blink of an Eye. Sometimes science fiction can be great simply by premise alone. Voyager becomes trapped in the orbit of a bizarre planet where time moves at an incredibly accelerated rate. For every 10 hours on Voyager, nearly a century passes on the planet below. And since becoming trapped in orbit, Voyager has inadvertently shaped the course of the planet's civilization. Much like Measure of a Man, the episode earns its greatness through sheer fascination. The concept itself has so many brilliant ideas spinning off it that pulling on a single story thread unravels a whole new stream of intriguing implications. Take, for example, a segment where the Doctor beams down to the planet and accidentally ends up spending 3 years of his life there, thanks to some seemingly seemingly throwaway lines of dialogue, we learn that the Doctor truly found a life there, falling in love, somehow fathering a son despite being a hologram, and the bitter pill of outliving everyone he knew in a matter of hours. And that's just one single subplot, but the potential story is worth a full novel of material. The way Voyager watches the evolution of the entire planet feels like something out of an Arthur C. Clarke story. I originally had Shattered on the list, but no way is it better than Blink of an Eye. The chronicling of an alien civilization is fascinatingly depicted in the episode, but the wealth of ideas conjured up could last many hours more. And there we have 5 more great Star Trek episodes. Are there still more that I've missed? If so, let me know in the comments below. Until then, have a good one guys, live long and prosper.